Hello again. I'm back in my hotel and I've just watched the highlights on Facebook. And although I strongly disagreed with the penalty decision at the time, as you can see with my reaction, I'll explain that that wasn't just me being pro Borussia Dortmund at the time. It just shows that to get decisions right, you have to look at it from different angles. But the penalty decision, had it gone to VAR and they had a look at all the angles and decided, yes, it was in their box, then I would have accepted it was a penalty. The reason why I strongly disagreed with the penalty decision at the time, and of course, when it goes against your team, you're bound to get upset about it. That's just what football fans are like. That's football. So I looked at it and yes, it was a foul and it was just on the edge. It was just in the box. So after looking at it and putting aside my pro Borussia Dortmund bias, it was a penalty. It didn't seem like that at the time when I was watching from the stands, and as you can imagine, all of the Borussia Dortmund fans around me strongly disagreed with the penalty decision at the time. We thought it was a disgraceful decision. If you look at it from where we were and the fact we were supporting Borussia Dortmund, you can understand why they would have been upset by it. Looking at the highlights, of course, it was a penalty. So from a neutral standpoint, the Rangers player was tripped in the box. It was just inside the box. Maybe the Dortmund player, I think it was Emre Can, who gave it away. He probably believed the Rangers player was outside the box. That's probably why he done it. He probably didn't realise he was going to give away a penalty. So he probably thought, as I did at the time, the Rangers player is going to go around me. I've got to put a foot out. And he probably thought, well, the Rangers player is just outside the box. I'll give away a free kick here. Tactical foul. That's probably what he was thinking at the time. But unfortunately, it was in the box and it was a penalty. So just saying this, that you can get carried away at the time, you can get carried away in the emotion at the time, but if you could look at it, as football fans, let's not put our tinfoil hats on and think the referee's biased against our team, because he's got to make difficult decisions. He's got to be as impartial as possible, and if that means killing a tie off, destroying a team's dreams, well, he can't think of that. He's got to give the right decision at the time. As for the second controversial decision in the match, from where I was looking, it looked like the Rangers player, I think it was Morelos, Alfredo Morelos barged the Borussia Dortmund player out the way. I think that might have been Emre Can again. It was Can. He plays as both a defender and a midfielder. So I think it was Emre Can again, actually. So yeah, he didn't have the best of games, Emre Can, to be fair. He made a mistake and he had to make up for it. And I'd say with the disallowed third goal, I would say Borussia Dortmund were lucky with that one. Rangers very unlucky, Borussia Dortmund pretty lucky with that one. After seeing the highlights of it and seeing it from the angles, I couldn't possibly see that. I was right at the other end of the ground. So we in the Dortmund end, we believed that if that goal was going to stand, it was outrageous, because we believed Rangers at the time, Rangers wrongly had a penalty. We believed that this is outrageous, the referee's against us here. As probably all football fans do, they only really remember the big decisions which go against their team. The football fans, we're natural conspiracy theorists. Just listen to any football phone-in. You'll see fans, which I believe the officials have a conspiracy theory against their club. And I'd say that although it looked like it was a foul on the Dortmund player from where we were, it was really nothing. The goal probably should have stood. They looked at it from all the angles, and for some reason they didn't, except one, and for some reason they didn't show it from that angle. And as you can see, Emre Can, he clipped the Rangers player's legs and fell over. There's no getting away from that. So yes, my team, Borussia Dortmund, were lucky that goal didn't stand. We were very lucky with that one. I think the 3-2 Rangers, on balance, it probably would have flattered them. I think we deserved at least a draw in the night. But you can understand why Rangers players and fans were upset about that goal being disallowed. Rangers were really unfortunate with that decision. And Emre Can, he got away with that one. It was his mistake. Fortunately for him, the referee gave it his way, and he got away with that one. And we got away with that one. So really, although Dortmund dominated the game, we had most of the chances, probably Rangers should have won that one 3-2. So this will be a feature from all my vlog videos. I'll show you the reaction of me at the time and my reaction when I see the major decisions and incidents on video. And unfortunately, we didn't do enough to go through. We didn't do enough to overturn that deficit. The first leg was probably the worst I've ever seen Borussia Dortmund play. Rangers took advantage of their chances, and silly mistakes cost us. Emre Can, he should not have brought down, he should not have given away the penalty. You could argue that he was probably hoping that the referee would give a free kick from outside the box. Unfortunately, it was in there and it was a penalty. Tavernier scored it, made our task a lot harder. And we got away with one in the second half. So, as you can probably tell, I'm quite tired. Despite the result, I enjoyed the game. It was a great atmosphere. It was a great experience. My first ever European game, and hope it won't be my last one either with Borussia Dortmund or another German team. So I'll show you how I get carried away at the match. I metaphorically put on my tinfoil hat thinking the referee's got a conspiracy against us. But if you look at it again, although I don't like to say it, the decision you got wrong went against Rangers rather than my team. So we got away with that one. We probably won't in our next game. So I would say to Marco Rosa, if he's still the Dortmund manager at the end of the season or the beginning of the next season, key areas Dortmund need to work on. We need to work on our defence because we're not going to become a top European team again and make silly challenges and make silly defensive mistakes. And I'm hoping this defeat to Rangers will really get the manager and board and the board to say, look, these are the areas we really need to improve. We want to be a top side again. We want to win European trophies. But you cannot rely on a referee giving a dodgy decision your way. And it's a rarity because Rangers rarely get big decisions against them at Ibrox. It's a collector's item, really, because usually everything gets given their way at Ibrox, except for the few which don't, and that being one of them. So 2-2, happy with the result on the night. didn't quite do enough to win on the night. And certainly didn't do enough to overturn the result. But it does show you that as a fan, after the emotion of the game's gone, I think it helps to try and look at these decisions impartially. So, looking at it again, it was a penalty, and Rangers were hard done by with that third goal not being given. And this is why I think VAR is a good thing, because when you just see things at the time, you can see things one way, but if you have a look at the video evidence, it shows that the opposite decision's the right one. So I am pro VAR, and having a look at those two major incidents in that game shows that VAR is a good thing. So I'm going to do a football radio show tomorrow, and I need to get to bed because I'm rather tired. So I enjoyed that night, and I'll see you in the next video.